This is kind of depressing, you guys. So, you guys remember we covered the Indiana school superintendent who took a child to the doctor, and the child needed a prescription because the child had strep throat, and the child did not have health insurance. It seems like the child didn't have health insurance. The child didn't have parental support. So the superintendent told the doctor's office that it was her child, so that that child would be covered and get the prescription that they needed. Superintendent did that, and the superintendent got in a lot of trouble for that. And it looked like they were going to drop the charges. The superintendent entered into this program where as long as she doesn't get arrested for the next year, the charges will be dropped. So it looked like there was going to be a somewhat happy ending to it. Not so much. Here's what's actually going on. The Indiana school superintendent charged with insurance fraud after helping the sick student resigns. So her name was Cassie Smitherman. She was superintendent of Elwood County Community School Corporation. She allegedly used her son's name in obtaining treatment for a student. She did that, yeah. An Indiana school district superintendent who was arrested last month on charges that she used her son's name to help a sick student receive medical treatment has resigned from her post. Then this announcement was made at a Friday school board meeting. Smitherman, to recap here, 48 years old, was arrested last month on charges of insurance fraud, identity deception, insurance application fraud, and official misconduct. Now, she's agreed to a diversion program, like we talked about, where the charges will be dropped from her record if she avoids arrest for the next year. Police in Elwood said they received a tip that Smitherman took a 15-year-old student to urgent care on January 9th after the teenager missed school because he had a sore throat. They received a tip. That likely means that somebody somewhere found it to be a good use of their time to rat her out for doing what she did. What did she do? She helped a sick student. She got a sick student a prescription that the sick student needed that they likely wouldn't have been able to get otherwise. And because we have such a broken healthcare system in this country, she had to deceive to do it. Yeah, but who did she deceive? She deceived criminals. Our insurance industry, it is a criminal operation. It is making a profit center out of human health. And somebody found it to be a good use of their time to call the cops on her. Do you feel good about yourself? If you're out there and you somehow see this stream, how do you sleep at night? Like what makes you think what you did? I'm going to call the cops on a superintendent trying to help a sick student. She lied. In a lie that hurt nobody. It hurt nobody. It's her health insurance. She pays for it. Nobody got hurt here. A student got a prescription they needed. And somebody tipped police off about this. Wow. To whoever did that, congratulations. You are the biggest bootlicker in the United States. And you're a despicable human being. You're a despicable human being. I'm going to call the cops on a woman who's trying to help a sick kid. That's horrible. Horrible. So that's good. That gives you faith in humanity right there. That really gives you some faith in humanity. Knowing there are people out there who will do stuff like that. Knowing that you can face criminal charges for helping sick kids. And that this is, not only police think this is a good use of their time, but a citizen found it a good use to snitch out on this woman. to call the. And by the way, when you call the cops on something, you actually, in most cases, and I'm sure Indianapolis is this way, you actually have to follow, like, you have to file a report. You have to, like, give a statement. You have to, and the reason I know this is because when I lived in Pittsburgh, and at least this was the way it worked in Pittsburgh, there was this there were these people going door to door, and they were trying to get, they were claiming that there were router boxes in your house, and it was pretty obvious they were scammers. It was pretty obvious they had these shady, like, they were with this, like, company that wasn't Comcast, but it was, according to them, Comcast adjacent, and it looked suspect. And they go, hey, you had internet with us. And I was like, no, I didn't. And they're like, oh, well, this was over a year ago. Did you live here over a year ago? And I'm like, I didn't live here over a year ago. And they're like, oh, okay. Well, our router's still in your house. Can we go get it? And I'm like, there is no router in this house. That isn't my property. And they're like, no, we're pretty sure. It's got to be, I guess it's in the basement. And I was like, this house doesn't have a basement. Please get off my property right now. Which, it wasn't my property because I was renting it. But, and I said, please leave right now. And they left. They were like, this guy's not falling for it. So I called the police, and I said, hey, look, I just got, these people are going door to door. They're in my neighborhood. I'm pretty sure this is a scam. I don't see how they're possibly telling the truth. They claim there was this router box at my house. That they claim they're with this company. It sounds incredibly shady. I'm calling you guys because there's a lot of elderly people that live in my neighborhood. They might be more likely to fall for something like this. I don't want to see them get robbed. And, could you maybe have someone sort of keep an eye on things, maybe kind of question these people, see what's up, because it seems very shady, and I don't want any of my neighbors to get deceived. And the cops wouldn't do it unless they came to my house. They were like, well, we have to come to your house and take a statement. And I was like, no, you don't. I mean, can't you just send a car around the neighborhood to see, like, I'm telling you this happened. I'll give you my name, I'll give you my address so you can have documentation. I'm telling you where it happened. I'm not making it up. I can even tell you the direction these people walked in so you can see exactly where they're going. I don't want you to come to my house. There's no reason for that. I'm on my way out the door. I was on my way out the door. This was a Friday evening. I have theater tickets. I'm literally on my way out the door. I can't wait for you to come to my house. And I'm not going. They're like, well, you have to go to the station and give a statement. And I'm like, I'm trying to do a good thing for my community. I'm on the phone with you. You can't just... So I had to just hang up. I had to just be like, well, I'm sorry. That's a shame. So anyway, I mean, at least in my community, if you want to call and report suspicious activity like that, you actually can't do it. They have to come. So if Indianapolis is like how Pittsburgh was, at least how it was when I did that, this person who decided to rat this woman out had to call the cops, and then the cops had to go take a statement from them. And the whole time they thought, this is a good use of my time. I'm making sure a woman who helped a sick kid gets punished. This is a good, I'm being a good Samaritan here. I'm looking out for those predatory for-profit insurance industry. I'm looking out for those poor, helpless insurance companies who make a profit center out of my life and everyone else's life. This is a good use of my time. This is a good use of my time. Let's make sure that that woman who's helping out a sick child. Oh, and here's one more thing in the article. Here's her statement. I am very embarrassed for that. That she was, resigning because of what happened. And I apologize to the board, the community, and the teachers and students of Elwood Community Schools. Well, you shouldn't. You have nothing to apologize for. That's noble of you, but you have nothing to apologize for. The school district nurse said at a Tuesday night school board meeting that the district is equipped to handle the child's medical needs. Okay, no offense to that nurse. That probably isn't true. Again, this child had strep throat. When you have strep throat, you need a test. That they put a swab in your mouth, and they swab you, and then they test it. And then they find out if you have strep throat or not. If you have strep throat, you need a prescription to get rid of it. You need an antibiotic that you can't get over the counter. So this isn't just like, hey, here's some Here's some cough drops. It'll soothe your sore throat. Eventually, the sore throat will go away. If it's a regular sore throat, that's all you can do. If it's a regular sore throat, then yeah, of course that nurse is beyond equipped to handle it. But if you need a test, chances are a regular school nurse is not going to have the laboratory necessary, the resources necessary to test a child for strep throat. I suppose I don't know that 100% for sure, but I'm pretty certain, unless things have changed a lot since I was in school, which I'm assuming they have, but I doubt a school nurse is equipped to test a child for strep throat. Can I say that with 1,000% certainty? No, but if I were a betting man. So that's a sad ending to that story. That's a really sad ending. Not only is it sad that stuff like this can happen in the richest country in the world, but it's also sad that there are people out there who decided ratting on this woman was a good idea. Wow. Get your news on with Ron. Don't you want to know what's going on? We're getting our news on today. Get your news on with Ron. Don't you want to know what's going on? We're getting our news on today. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You can tweet me an article at Ron Placone. We'll go through it together and make it our own. Get your news